HFA? My name's Nathan,
I'm Najee.
and we're here bringing you the 9th grade special edition DC News. We will be leaving on May 8th at 4 a.m. Make sure you'll be here at 4 a.m. We'll be leaving at 4:45 a.m. with or without you.
Pickup will be May 11th at approximately 10:30 at the museum campus. Students will be calling 40 minutes before they get here, so please be on time. Mr. Flannery tell us some information regarding the trip.
Thanks. It's going to be an excellent trip.
I think especially because we're growing teenagers and we're always hungry, a lot of us are worrying about food. So how is that going to play in with our trip?
As far as food, students don't have to bring food except for snacks. We're going to make sure that we have food stops on the way on the bus, but if there is special needs, like as far as certain types of food, bring some snacks. We will be stopping for lunch on the way to DC, but on Tuesday we will not be stopping for breakfast. So eat before you come, or pack a small snack for the bus ride before you come. 4 a.m. is pretty early. You may be used to eating at more like 6, 7. So if you have it packed, that's cool. Lunch won't be till about noon on Tuesday when we leave. We will have bottled water. What we're going to do is we're going to allocate 3 bottles of water each day for every student. And so you're going to have a bag, and we're going to purchase the bags for you guys. And those bags that's going to be your carry-on. And so every morning when you come in, you're going to meet with your sponsor, and they're going to fill your bag up with 3 bottles of water and also your documentation for the work you're going to do each day on the trip. So you're going to have one team leader, teacher, or staff member that's going to be your team leader throughout the whole experience. And so they're going to make sure your luggage gets on the bus, in the right bus. They're going to be kind of like your personal tour guides. That will be the person you report to back and forth throughout the entire trip. Make sure you have your water in the morning, you're at where you need to be throughout the day. That's kind of the setup of how that will go. But what we suggest is for students to bring about $50 is probably enough. If you're going to think about extra additional, you could probably make it through with less. But we say that is more or less to not really bring more than that, because you shouldn't really need anything else. We're going to supply you with the water, the food, everything but snacks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for Wednesday, Thursday, and then most of Friday, but Tuesday morning breakfast is on your own.
So that's $50 just for food then?
I would say $50 would be like the max that I would send my own child with if they were going on this field trip, if they wanted to pick up something that may be either snacks or even souvenirs while we're there.
Okay, so we know we're going to Washington, D.C., but where are we going exactly?
We are going to see a lot of sites. We're going to see 3 colleges. We're going to go to the Capitol building. We're going to go to the mall, which is not a shopping mall. I know there's been some confusion. When we refer to the mall in DC, that is a location in which there are all the monuments. We're not going to be going to like a Somerset. You guys can do that. Go to Fairline when you come home. But we're not going to an actual mall that has shopping. I'll say it one more time. It is not a shopping mall. It is a location with the monuments from our nation. We're going to be staying at the Comfort Inn in Capitol Heights, Maryland. The final itinerary, because we're still, we have a general outline of the itinerary, but as we move closer, the actual times down to the 30-minute time period where the tour guides and the tour company that we're working with will have it narrowed down, because some sites are flexible. So we'll have an exact detail, at 2 o'clock on Wednesday where we'll be, but it'll happen later on in April.
So I know, especially with medications and allergies, are we going to be able to bring that with us, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, and we actually have a registered nurse that's going to be attending the trip with us. And so that registered nurse, she will take any meds that need to be taken. So for example, if somebody has an inhaler but they don't usually carry with them, or an EpiPen or something like that for allergies, she's going to hold on to those. If you usually hold on to your own inhaler or medications, and do what you normally do, but if it's something that like you would normally leave at school, we're going to have you check it in with a registered nurse. She's going to be staying in the hotel, and she's also going to be traveling on the bus and on the trip with us. And she'd also be there for, other, if there's someone gets a cold or something like that, some general type of medical stuff. If you or your student has a food allergy, please make sure we know in advance, because we will be going to a number of different restaurants while we're there. And so I'm sure by the time you guys are 15 going on 16, you probably know what you shouldn't eat, but you want to be very careful when you're on a trip, and you may not be thinking about it, talking with your friends, we're at a restaurant, and so forth. So if you do have allergies, please let your team leader know, and then we let the nurse know too.
Okay, so a lot of the ninth graders want to bring a lot of stuff, like thinking about bringing their gang systems and everything. So can you tell us what not to bring?
The things not to bring, the prohibited items, the things that would probably lead to somebody having to be flown home at family's cost would be, alcohol, tobacco, and drugs and so forth, weapons. Those things would result in immediate sent home on your own cost type of a situation. And then, on top of any consequences with the academy. Things that are not allowed or prohibited at school, typically, we were going to say on this trip, yes. We're suggesting not to bring electronic devices like Xboxes and game systems, because when we're going to be at the hotel, it's going to be a very short amount of time. We're going to be busy all day long. We're going to really be moving from the crack of dawn, 7 o'clock in the morning, till about 9:30, 10 was when we're going to get back to the hotel. And so there's not going to be a whole lot of time to hang out. It's going to be a very busy trip because we have lots to see. Some of us, this is our first time sightseeing in DC, and so we're going to get as much as we possibly can out of these 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, half of Friday, 3.5 days. And so there's not going to be a whole lot of time for gaming, although I know that's what people normally do when they hang out with their friends, but we're going to be really busy. Cell phones to communicate back and forth with parents. If that's something you normally take to school with you, that'd be another way that the teacher or your team leader can get in contact with you. If there is anything, or if you need to call home. So cell phones typically are good, and especially when we call home at night to get picked up. We're going to call home from when we get to about Monroe, which is 40 minutes, when the buses are closed, so that parents will be here by that 10:30-ish range. We'll call home and let parents know. It's going to be important that parents are hopefully there before us. I know your children will be really looking forward to seeing you, and you'll be looking forward to seeing them because it's been a couple days. But the museum will be closed, so we'll be out in the cold pretty much. So please be there before us to pick up.
Now, I noticed that you mentioned no Xbox and things like that. You don't recommend them. How about our laptops and everything? For if we take pictures, will we be able to take those?
I would say if you're going to take pictures, bring a camera, something portable with you, because I don't want somebody losing something or something happening to something in a hotel room. I know when I stay in hotel rooms, I don't leave my laptop out. There's not going to be really places to lock it and so forth. So I would say leave the laptop and the bigger devices at home. Take your pictures on your phone or a camera, and then transfer them when you get back home.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
No problem. Nice talking to you.
Okay, now we'll talk about packing. Every student needs to bring an HFA badge, 1 luggage, and 1 carry-on this size, which will be provided by HFA. Everyone needs to bring their luggage to school on Monday so it can be searched. No locks should be on your luggage. You won't be able to get your luggage until we get to DC.
Also, make sure that you have your blue shirt on the very top of your luggage bag, so it's the first thing people see when they open it.
While you're on your trip, you can bring a small pillow and a blanket for the ride. While we're there, you should follow Friday dress code. So that means no revealing clothes, and every bottom that you wear should pass the fingertip test.
And you can also look right inside your student handbook, and it will lay out all the guidelines of what you can bring and not bring. It's no different than your normal school rules.
Also, bring good shoes because we will be walking a lot. So, gym shoes, and please do not wear flip-flops because your feet will hurt. And dress properly, because if you get caught not doing that, then you will have to wear a uniform, which you don't want to. Keep in mind that it will be warm weather. So sunglasses, sunscreens, baseball caps, because it'll possibly be 90 degrees while we're there. So pack a raincoat too, because it may rain while we're there.
And you know, bring a hat. This is like maybe the #1 time you actually get to wear a hat at this school. So, you know, take advantage of it. I think that's about it for now. Have fun in HFA, and we'll see you all in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.